What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. My name is Dan Kathman. Thanks so much for joining me. This is Talks with Dan Kathman, and we have a very special, my first ever interview is today. It's Memorial Day weekend. I'm here with my very good friend, Clay Christopher. Clay, thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Hey, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, man, it's great to have you. This guy, if you don't know, he is an actor. Man, he has a voice that you wouldn't believe. It's got this baritone bass.
Thank you.
That's it, man. You talk and people go like, wait, who is this guy?
I think my voice is the reason why they came up with the phrase panty dropper. I'd love to take credit for that, if I may.
Oh, man, he does great voices, actually. He's a voice actor. He was on actually cruise ships acting for, how long were you doing that for?
Well, I with the jobs that I had on the ships, I was allowed to show up on stage every so often, but I was actually a production manager at first, and then I graduated to cruise director. So I did get to be on stage. I got to have a lot of fun.
So you get to drive the ship, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I got to drive the ship.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was the captain.
No. Okay. Yeah. Cruise director of the entertainment.
Yeah. I was cruise director. My last year working with Norwegian, I was a cruise director. I got promoted to cruise director.
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of fun.
How long did you do that for? How long were you doing cruises?
Wow. I worked on ships for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Is that where you met your wife?
That is where I went. I wet my wife.
I wet my wife.
I wet my wife.
It was a really rocky ride, and the waves came up. And
speaking of water, is where I wet my wife. Yes, I met my beautiful wife Pumla from South Africa while we were both working on ships. She's a massage therapist in the spa, and I was working in entertainment. It was a match made at sea.
One day I got a massage, and I met her, and that was it.
We actually met. I had been on the ship for several months at that point. I was doing my longest contract ever, which was 9 months.
Wow.
My wife is used to doing 9-month contracts working in the spa. That's normal contract time for spa people. My contracts were either 6 months or, once I got to cruise director, only 4 months. But this one I had agreed to stay on longer because I wanted to go do the Baltic cruise. I wanted to go to Russia. So I ended up staying on that ship for almost 9 months. I was there for 8.5 months on that ship. It was the Norwegian breakaway. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying it.
No.
I don't think so.
So do you guys make pit stops, and did you go and do stuff other places?
Oh yeah. I mean, we went everywhere. And so I had already been on the ship for like 6 months, and my wife shows up for her contract, and we met on an elevator. And
no way.
The minute that we saw each other, I think, it was, but we were both in other relationships at the time.
Oh.
And I would only ever see her on the elevator. We would either see each other waiting for the elevator, or we would see each other on the elevator or getting off.
Who made the first move?
She would say she did.
Okay.
I would say that I did.
Okay. Did you preempt her move? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, what had happened was
all right.
I had gotten out of my previous relationship. She was still in hers when I left for my vacation. I had a 2-month vacation. Excuse me. I didn't think I was even coming back to that ship. I was going to a different ship. The like 2 days before I was meant to go, my boss on land said, "Hey, I need you to go back to the breakaway." I said, "Great." Because I'm thinking that girl is still going to be there. And
right.
My first cruise back, I had to fly back to Denmark. That's where I picked up the ship.
Uh-huh.
And that first cruise, it was a 9-day cruise. I didn't see her at all. I'm thinking, damn, I missed her. She got transferred or something.
Right.
The last night of the cruise, I went down to Crew Bar. We had a lot of shows getting installed my first week, so it was very busy. And so my buddy and I, we were down in the Crew Bar drinking, and all of a sudden, Pumla and I locked eyes. And then she came to my room, and she never left.
I locked the door.
Yeah,
I got you now.
She wanted to leave. Don't get me wrong. She still wants to.
Yeah.
No. It was just the right place at the right time. She wasn't in a relationship. I wasn't. We both wanted each other. And yeah,
That's
it
great.
was kismet,
Right.
as they say.
Right.
And we got married. I asked her to marry me a month later after we were together.
Get the fuck out of here.
And we got married. That was in October when we got together, October of 2018. And we were married in South Africa in February of March. We got married March 11th of 2019.
Wow. Good for you, man. Congratulations.
So, yeah, can you believe it? I've been married for over 2 years.
2 years.
This is crazy. We went to high school together, you and I.
Yeah, we did.
Now, we're
And
doing
now
like grown up things like getting married.
And you're married.
Well, I mean, yeah, I am.
You're married and you spent some time down in South Africa, right?
Yeah, I've been there quite a few times. Crazy place. My wife comes from a village called Bizana, but I don't go there all the time. I've been there twice.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm there, I've spent the last 5 months of last year going into this year in South Africa. And we live in Durban, which is one of the major cities in South Africa, right on the beach. We have a great apartment.
Wow.
Just to walk to the beach. It's great.
So wait, you live in Durban, but but is there family from a village? Is that what you're saying?
her and her family, they're all from this village called Bizana. It's about 3 hours away.
Oh, wow.
By car.
Like village, you mean like middle of nowhere type of village?
Yeah, like there's no cell phone towers. Like,
wow,
you're roughing it.
Yeah.
But that's the way she grew up. She told me that there wasn't even electricity in their village until 94.
Wow.
So she didn't like when I'm.
So no plumbing, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you want to talk about.
I heard this before.
Yeah.
So
there's in my wife's mother's house, there's no indoor plumbing. They still have an outhouse. And so
an outhouse.
I don't do that. I don't use the outhouse. I don't mind peeing next to the sheep cage. Right. I don't mind that. Right. However, it made me feel bad too. Like my first time I went there, it's very old school. So, the women serve the men and the men all sit together and wait. It was all very traditional. Like I had to pay a dowry for my wife. So I had to, give her family the equivalent of 10 cows. I don't personally own any cattle.
Wow.
So I just paid them what the cattle were worth.
Wow.
But it's this whole tradition. It's their tradition.
Right.
They call it Lobola. And I had to pay the equivalent of 10 heads of cattle. And, my wife is serving me food and I get this plate of chicken and like rice and crap. I don't know what it is. And you know what? I have no fear saying this. First of all, because I doubt she'll watch this because she doesn't watch anything I'm in. Right. She supports me in everything I do, but she doesn't watch anything.
No thank you.
And exactly. No thanks. Thanks, but no. Clay, you go do your things. You go be in front of people. I don't want to watch anything.
Let's watch Netflix.
And you know what? Even if I was on Netflix, she probably would not want to watch that.
Maybe another show.
She's like, why the fuck is this on my list? Why are you on my list, Clay? Get off my list.
Right.
Isn't it enough that I'm married to you? So I have to live this every day.
Yeah.
So she gives me this plate of weird looking chicken.
Describe this. Is it a live chicken?
No, it's not live chicken, of course, but I get really nervous because while I'm attempting to eat this chicken that does not look like chicken to the way that you and I know chicken to look like, all of a sudden I start hearing cheep, 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 cheep outside of the house.
No.
And all these little babies come to the door and look at me as if to say, hey, asshole, that's our mother. Needless to say, needless to say, I don't eat meat anymore when I go to the village just because I have a guilty stomach.
Yeah. And no bathroom.
For 3 hours. So I can pee all I want, but I can't. But now I feel bad going to pee next to, the sheep cage because they sacrificed a sheep in my honor when my wife and I got married. So they all look at me like, oh, here's the asshole who killed Uncle Steve. He's the reason why they sacrificed, Uncle Steve. And they wanted me to do it. Her brothers wanted me to kill the sheep. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. No, this suit is new.
Keep your machete.
Yeah, you guys can do that. I will watch. I actually have video. I'll show you later.
You did?
I do. I have.
Oh
video.
my God.
It's really sad, but I had to.
Was it like a Tarantino movie? Did blood squirt?
No, nothing. But then they wanted me to wear like they cut out like the heart, and then they cut like a valve that goes to the heart.
The actual heart of the sheep?
The actual
not like a paper heart like Valentine's Day?
No,
not the nice side. Oh, that's not the type of story I'm telling.
No. This is the village. I don't know if you've got where we are.
Have you seen the village?
Yeah. So there's this little valve, and it's supposed to be like full of blood. The brother nicked it, so it just became like this little spaghetti noodle looking valve. And they wanted me to like pin it to my jacket. And I said, oh, guys, no, I don't think you understand. The suit is new.
Do you maybe have a corsage or something?
Like something like maybe that wasn't alive before. I said, no, I won't be participating in that part of your ritual.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't go to the village much anymore whenever I'm in South Africa. Wow. And hopefully my wife and my daughter will be able to get here on their visas. So
oh wow, they're still there.
Yeah, they're still there right now.
Are they hanging out at your more of a beach
area?
Yeah,
they're at the apartment.
The nice area.
Yeah.
Perfect. That must be beautiful. I heard South Africa is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Did you see any is there like snakes and stuff?
I saw one snake, but it was already dead on the sidewalk.
I mean, not that have you seen snakes? No, there's snakes everywhere.
Well, Dan, you knew me when I owned a snake. Like
yeah. But like South Africa, you think people go on safaris there?
Oh yeah. But that's the thing. Like I thought for sure, I'm going to go see some lions and hippos and giraffes and elephants and rhinos.
Nothing.
Saw none of it.
Oh man,
none of it. I did see some snakes, but at like a zoo.
You don't have like a good wolf story or something?
No. I saw a zebra on like a farm with a bunch of other horses. I was like, one of these things is not like the other.
He's trying to blend in here, guys. It's not working.
I'm like, you're not doing a good job there.
This guy hasn't seen a mirror.
Now over there, they call them zebras because they say Z instead of Z. Because,
this is the right way you pronounce it.
Yeah, well, because we're American. What we do is right, obviously.
Guys,
everything we do.
Zebra. Where's the Starbucks?
They do have Starbucks. They do. They do have Starbucks.
Well, South Africa is very developed.
It's from what I know.
Right.
South Africa is the most developed of the African countries. Having said that, I have not been to any of the other African countries.
I have no idea.
Right. But I imagine, places like Egypt and Morocco, are well, built up.
That's so cool, though.
I love South Africa, though. I would definitely own property there, but I think my wife is kind of done with it for a while. So when she gets here, we're probably not going to go back for at least 5 years. That's the plan, not to go back, really get them settled here.
How far along is she in the process? Is she close?
Yeah, we're very close. We're getting to the point of getting an interview scheduled. So that way, once the interview is scheduled and done, it takes about 3 weeks to get their visas and then they can come here. We're hoping that they can be here before August.
Wow.
It's been over 2 years we've been trying to get this visa.
So you actually she hasn't lived here since you've been married.
No, she's never lived here. And her daughter, but now my stepdaughter, has never even been out of South Africa. So when she comes here, it'll be like her first plane ride. Can you imagine your first flight being like over 24 hours long?
That's insane.
Because it takes a long ass time to get to South Africa.
The United States. I mean, wow. It's going to be like,
it's going to be a shock.
I mean, Florida people, it's like coming to Disney. It's like, here we are.
Florida.
It's only an hour away.
Florida. It's the land of meth and plenty. So,
Florida gets a bad rap. Okay. It's not that bad. It's pretty good.
It's pretty bad.
You shut your mouth.
I've lived here my whole life. Yeah. So you shut your mouth. Okay. So hey, Mr. Texan, the stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas.
That's a good song.
It's a great song. Won many awards. It's really great.
It's great.
It's so good. It's the best.
Oh, it is. Real quick, you tell me. I just want the audience to hear this. You actually did. So we're coming up. This is Memorial Day weekend, 2021. We just came from a really crazy year, 2020. Just for the history books, This is a pretty insane time, right? Lots happened.
What happened?
Crazy things happened.
Oh.
Lots, we had the world pandemic.
Oh.
And we're coming out of it now. So last year, 2020,
You should always come out.
year. You should always, don't try to push through. Go.
No, always make sure you come out. Always.
Some might say pull.
Yeah, you could pull out.
Don't push.
Yeah, don't push out. Pull out.
It's at the door you're trying to
Yeah.
is it push or pull?
Of course,
Is it push or pull?
you don't have to even pull out if you wear a mask.
You got to tell somebody. You got to tell somebody, hey, it's pull. Yeah, like you're explaining. It's pull. It's pull. You say the guy like you're like you get stuck in the door. It's a pull. You tell the guy behind you so you don't look embarrassed. Guys, I got it for all of you. Oh, I'll hold the door for you. It's a pull.
Stop pushing.
It's been a crazy year, but now mask mandates being lifted, people are opening up. It's a wild time. They say maybe the craziest summer ever because people have been locked up, things have been shut down, and now we're coming into summer and it's like everything's opening up, bro.
And we're just supposed to go on this honor code of if you've already been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask.
Right.
But we can't ask you legally if you've been vaccinated.
Have you been vaccinated?
So
yeah.
Again, Florida winning
right
on the,
winning.
Come to Florida. It's full of snow. And when I say snow, I mean cocaine.
Cocaine. They say, I heard a stat. I don't know if it's true or not, but like that 90% of bills, I don't know if it's in general or in Florida, have residue of cocaine on them.
What?
I heard it a long time ago. I don't know if it's true or not, but we're interesting. I'm like, oh, wow.
Did you know that
last time I had cash,
99% of statistics are made up?
Did you know? I just read from a guy who wrote a blog.
A blog. Why don't you ask Jeeves for those statistics?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Wait, I need to make. I think it's from a movie. Let's see if Blockbuster has it.
Blockbuster. Oh man, maybe a red box. Netflix. Maybe you'll send me a DVD in the mail.
I got 3 more days.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, Borders books.
What happened? You guys thought that we were expensive? Yeah, we did. We'd like to walk around.
Yeah.
Barnes & Noble is experiencing that now.
Barnes & Noble.
They're the last standing real big bookstore.
I love to walk around bookstores.
I love it, but I don't want to buy the books because they're so expensive.
But I liked Borders better because their prices were cheaper than Barnes & Noble.
And you go into Barnes & Noble, it's like, it's $18 for this new book. Go to Amazon, it's like $11. Like, well,
I know. My last book for my book club, I went to go and buy it at Barnes & Noble, and they're like, this book is $24. I'm like, hey, do you price match Amazon? No? Good day. I'm leaving.
I like the environment, but I don't want to like, yeah, exactly. Like I bought Jerry Seinfeld's book, whatever it was called. Is This Something? And it was $30, brand new. And I was like, and I bought it and I felt like, I'm like, okay, I'm giving back to Jerry. Like I'm giving like he needs it. But I felt like I was like, okay, I'm giving it back because it was like $20 or $15 brand new on Amazon. It's probably, I want to bring this up because, one day Barnes & Noble will likely be out of business and they will not be sponsoring this podcast. So
I might need to go pull my stock out.
You guys talking Barnes & Noble?
No.
Okay. Because I don't want to Elon Musk this conversation, but it seems like that's a bad idea.
If anybody is pulling money out because of this podcast, if they're making any of their stock decisions based on this podcast,
like, this guy seems like know what he's talking about.
They clearly are morons.
Clearly. Wait, this is this seems like a Rain Man situation.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's very bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's not good. Not good. It's bad. It's very bad. Great movie.
Dan, you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. You do some impressions.
I do.
What's probably your top number one impression or top 3? Give me some. Give me one that you like.
Definitely Sean Connery gets asked for a lot at auditions.
Sean Connery.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Are you enjoying that chair you're shitting in, Daniel?
Why don't you have a drink and tell me that? Have a sip.
Oh, would you like me to have a sip of this drink?
What is that? What are you drinking there?
Whiskey.
No, I thought you would say the line, the James Bond line.
Oh, Oh, of course. I just think it's so stupid because you don't shake a martini.
I'll lead you in. Ready? All right, sir. What are you having?
I'll have a martini. Shaken, not stirred.
Okay, well, that's not how we really do it normally. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm quite sure.
Okay. We don't have any.
Would you like a bullet in your forehead?
We don't have any vodka. Do you want a beer or something?
You can make a martini with gin, dipshit.
All right. Hey, Carol, how do you make a martini?
Oh, forget it. I'll just get back there and do it myself.
We have Heineken. Do you like that? Oh man, you got some more. Oh, you do it. I think you do a good Rodney Dangerfield, right?
Oh yeah, I do a great Dangerfield. Oh, me? No respect at all.
Oh my
God, mine. I tell you this. My wife. She asked me to have sex. She wanted to have sex in the backseat of the car. She wanted me to drive. No respect. No respect, I tell you. I was taking a cab back home. And I don't remember the joke.
That's funny. I actually heard.
Hello. Is this thing on?
Wait, I heard that Rodney, his wife, passed away while he was still doing stand-up, and he kept her alive in the act. I think that's great. I think that's fantastic.
I think it's hilarious.
No, I mean, like,
no, it's really nice.
Well, something about comedians that people think that it's like just a biography, that they're just like reading their diary, and it's like, this is an act. This is a joke. This is written material. It's like a one act play you're watching here. Yeah. So I think it's great. I love Rodney.
Rodney is fantastic, and I think that his delivery, his rapid fire delivery. I mean, you could only be on a massive amount of cocaine, to be able to do that.
Was he doing cocaine?
I would like to think so.
Right.
Otherwise, it seems like inhuman that he'd be able to be that good without some sort of help.
Well, if you YouTube, you can kids, you can YouTube this if you want to.
Hey, do you know what YouTube is?
Not to say that I was alive when it happened, or what was I? I don't know. Johnny Carson days when he would go on Johnny Carson.
Yeah. I mean, it was when we were really young. Carson retired in the early 90s.
Okay, I think this must have been the 80s when Dangerfield, because it was like he was doing Johnny Carson. Or some, I don't know, maybe 70. I have no idea. But he would kill.
No, yeah.
He would kill.
Oh,
and then Carson would die, and then he would block him. That's the thing. It's like you're a comedian, you get asked to sit down and you made it. That's it. That's all you want. And when he would sit down, his panel jokes just ripped even harder.
He could make Carson laugh like nobody. Him and Don Rickles could make Carson laugh like Rickles, nobody's business.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't do a good Rickles because you can't really get away with doing Rickles jokes because everything he did was racial but funny. I mean, hilarious because the guy was not a racist at all, but he made fun of everybody equally.
Oh man, yeah. I watched his recent. Oh, well, not as recent, but I watched his.
He's dead.
His late, one of his late performances when he did. Well, I mean, he's always kind of been old, And but he was when he did it for the president.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
So good.
I mean, right up in those good old boys, those of comedians, the Rat Pack of comedians, was just fantastic. Right. It didn't.
And was it Rickles who was friends with Frank Sinatra? Yeah, that's wild.
He tells this great story of he was out on a date with a girl and he wanted to look good and he saw Frank come in and he went over to Frank's table. He said, hey, I'm trying to make it with this girl over here that you see. Right. Could you like come over and say hello? And Frank said, sure. And Dan's here fixing the visual part of our podcast. I don't think he's doing a really good job. I think he's doing pretty terrible. Patrick Warburton was on Seinfeld. Did you know that, Dan? Did you watch Seinfeld?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Tell me one thing from Seinfeld. Give me one memorable thing from Seinfeld. Go ahead right now.
Why are you coming at me like that?
No, come on, do it. No, you want to talk a big game. Then go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. Tell me something funny.
Let's talk about Kramer.
Oh, Well, you know one character. That's great.
Let's talk about let's talk about the cookie that Jerry didn't really like.
The cookie that Jerry didn't really like? What the fuck?
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. Let's talk about, you put me on blast. Here we go.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
So cookie. He didn't like the cookie.
He didn't like the cookie.
He didn't like the cookie.
The black and white cookie.
The black and white cookie.
You have no idea what
He's not a fan of the cookie.
No, you don't know.
He doesn't like it in real life. He liked it in the show. Didn't like it in real life.
Dear God.
You didn't even know about that, did you?
Listen, I really don't give a shit what you're talking about.
Clay's trying to come at me because he doesn't know what I'm talking about because he thinks he knows everything.
I do. Actually, I know everything.
I'm actually not. I wasn't a big fan of the show. I didn't watch it a lot. He's right. But, I like Seinfeld in general, like as a comedian.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Good for you. That's Alan Rickman.
No, wasn't it? It sounded terrible.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
We can't all be perfect.
You actually do it. We got a few minutes left. You do actually really good. Do a Harry Potter bit. He does actually really good. He does do recognizable. The bit from Harry Potter would be great.
There will be no silly wand wavings or incantations in my class. Turn to page 392. Oh, sorry, page 394. I remember more of the lines from Die Hard because they're just better.
That's fantastic.
Mr. Takagi will not be joining us for the rest of his life.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
I miss Alan Rickman. God, I wish he was still with us.
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
He was great. He was great.
Man, it's been great catching up with you.
You as well. I almost believed you.
Thank you. I'm an actor. I'm kidding. It's really been good. I really appreciate you coming on for the very first ever podcast interview.
It's amazing.
This is history right here. We're doing.
Congratulations to you, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah,
for what?
For starting your show.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So this will be in this show. Pieces of this will be in the show that I'm doing now on YouTube, and it'll be in the full version will be on the podcast. You can catch it on the podcast channel Talks, or on Spotify. So check it out. Subscribe. Let us know what you think. This has been fun. Probably going to do it again. We're going to bring it back.
Of course. As soon as the check clears, I'll be back.
Okay. Well, this guy thinks we're still sending checks, bro.
Well, who am I receiving checks from?
I get a letter in the mail. It's a check. I don't know who it's from. Who is this? I just keep getting checks in the mail.
If Elmo doesn't get paid, Elmo's going to fuck shit up.
Raggy? Raggy?
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
We're here.
Oh, Scoob.
It's so good. It's so good, bro.
Daphne. Fred. Velma.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Your Shaggy is so good. Your Scooby is good, too.
Thank you very much.
We're
cut on video. We're still going on audio. Let's wrap it up for the podcast. This is just you we're talking to. We are no longer recording, so you can't see this or hear this anywhere except right here on the podcast. We're no longer doing so. This is for the podcast listeners. Thank you so much. This is we're doing a video and audio podcast.
Wow.
Which we talked about. They call it a video podcast, but they don't call it an audio podcast.
It's very strange.
That's Clay's comment.